and I was already on that fish and spaghetti.
Oh, yeah. Yo, people of the podcast world, what's going on out there? It's your boy, DJ Earthquake. I got Dr. Fem Dizzle with me.
Hey, man, the philosophy.
The philosophy
is to kill him softly. We my loving. Philosophy, kill them softly. The philosophy. Philosophy, kill them softly. The philosophy.
Yeah, true performer.
Is to spoiler we my loving. Gee. What it do, baby? Hey, man, fellas, you know, spoil your ladies with your loving, man. Spoil your family with your loving, you feel me? Spoil your loved ones with your loving, you feel me? That's all I'm saying. Spoil your parents, man.
It's a good message.
Spoil your siblings. Spoil your friends. Gee.
King Mitty is on the metro. But I got y'all on the moon with me.
Mm-hmm. Giving the people the philosophy.
To give them softly. Spoil the people with your loving. Oh, man.
Fast, man. Those some wonderfully written lyrics, man. Shout out to Manuel's, bro.
Gee.
Those are some impactful lyrics.
It is. It has impacted my life.
Shout out, bro.
Yes.
We are the Africanists. This is Travel Talk. Welcome to another week here with us.
Gee.
A big shout out to everybody that tuned in to Love Your Own People Talk. Y'all really liked it because the numbers was crazy.
Speaking of love.
Numbers was crazy. Like, numbers was really crazy.
I just have one question. Whose mans was that at the end of the episode?
Femi's.
Oh, yeah. My man B. Jackson.
Cuz was he was very serious about dropping in some serious knowledge.
Yeah, he was.
He dropped his own podcast.
Yeah.
I was like, we should have just made that an episode.
Because y'all know that was the discussion that we had before. I told him, you know, my guys went to Ghana, and I know he was there, and like he wasn't the let me go to Twist type. Like he
based on that story?
Nah,
not at all. First of all, he went to he's been in more countries in Africa than all of us, bro.
Yeah.
I was
he said
he was like Cote d'Ivoire, otherwise known as the Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
And then he said Cape Verde.
Yeah.
Did he listen? Do you know if he listened?
Yeah, I sent it to
okay, cool.
He had to have, he has to have listened to the pod because bruh, like, all right, first of all, shout out to him for being so hunted, man. I think that was more information than we expected.
It was. He sent it to me. He was like, "Bro, my bad, dog. I was rapping."
If that was a WhatsApp voice note, his finger has to be hurting, bro, because he has to hold down the button, man. But shout out to him, man. Yeah. We probably gotta bring him on one of these days.
Man.
Just the fellas,
sure.
Just to chop it up.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I liked what he said. He basically was saying one of the main things he noticed about Ghana was in other parts of Africa, he's basically treated like an outsider. He said in some parts they even like consider him like a white man, right? Because you're American, right?
Exactly.
But he said in Ghana, like the embrace and treating his family was like really key or whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought that was dope. But it was, I think, like him talking about economics was really dope too, because obviously I studied economics before, so I really delved into that one.
Yeah, he one of them MBA type brothers.
He was going deep, and he was talking about geopolitics and neocolonialism and all that. I was like, okay, y'all who didn't get to the end of the pod, I encourage y'all to listen through and hear his sound bit. But it was pretty dope. One thing I would say that was interesting that I would like to pick his brain more on is what he brought up. Not to derail quick.
No.
Have an agenda.
No, we can.
One thing he brought up, and I've had this debate before in Ghana, is that he said from his perspective, and I don't know, maybe someone he engaged with.
It's when he was in Ghana.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah,
he's working. He's mixing it up.
Exactly.
So one thing he said that I thought was really interesting, and I've engaged with people on the ground about this, and I've heard things that have been divisive, and I've heard things that have been accepting, is that he said, from his perspective, West Africa, that's dope.
Cape Coast Castle.
He's a cool guy, man. From his perspective, when he looks at the state of Ghana in particular, but a lot of countries in West Africa, they have all the resources, all the like the tools in the soil, growing from the ground, the conditions, economic conditions, peace, whatever it is, like we have it, right? And he was like, that stuff is the stuff that can really turn your country into like a world power. Now we even have the tourism popping, right? Obviously, we know Nigeria has oil, Ghana has oil. We have all this stuff. But he was saying from his perspective and people he talked to on the ground, the one thing that they don't have is the people with like the mindset and the knowledge to capitalize on it, right?
Of course.
So what he was saying was that they were basically essentially saying that we need those who are connected with us, who have experienced the West and seen how things are structured and things are set up in a progressive way to bring that knowledge and information back in. And one thing I would say is I have come across people on the ground in Africa that actually have been very resistant to that, though.
Oh yeah,
that are more like, nah, we don't want you coming in with your Western ways, thinking that you know something better than us when you don't even understand actually how things operate on the ground.
Of course, they gonna be resistant. And I think it was about like 4 years ago when I reached. I think we was in a group chat. I reached out to all y'all. It's like, yo, let's go back.
Yeah.
But even though I'm like, I know they gonna resist, because that's just how they are. They have a system that they've been using for centuries, and in the same way where the Anglo-Saxons here resist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they know, the people back home, they know one way of how they do things, and it's been passed down and passed down and passed down.
Right.
So for us to come and be like, yo, we got our own ideas and methods, they ain't trying to hear that. You know, so yeah, they definitely gonna resist. I mean, so we must finish them up.
Yeah, I think we definitely had that conversation as far as like the old heads go, right? Like they have a incorrect way, right? That is comfortable, right? So they don't want to change that. But I've come across young people that have been, and it was very divisive. But I think there is a little bit of truth to what they were saying, because they were basically like, you guys come from the West and you guys think you know the ground better than us. You don't, right?
Yeah, that was my argument to Femi when we had the discussion originally.
I think it's a very interesting conversation to be had, right? Because in one hand, I'm like, damn, you're rejecting me when I'm coming with open arms. But on the other hand, I understand where they are kind of defensive, because it's like, yo, well, we have people that schooled abroad too that are here. We came up and we went to Oxford, we went to Harvard, we went to University of Maryland.
But the point,
so how can you try and tell me we don't understand expansion economics?
The point is, we can both use our strengths.
Right, facts.
The fact that y'all know
yes,
the soil is good, because I mean, I may have the ideas, but I also need that knowledge that y'all have. So when we now work together, we can both use our expertise to reach the goal.
Facts.
But the thing is, a lot of times, like I said, they're resistant to even
because
partnership.
Because the partnership thing comes into play where it's like what we see as a necessity today, they feel like can be postponed later. They have a mentality of this needs to be fixed now. Like, we need to do this now so that my daily life is easier. Yeah. But sometimes when you do something more futuristic, it makes your daily life a lot easier sooner as compared to the thing that you want immediately.
And you've seen me and George even arguing with some of his young cousins about this type 100%. Of concept. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like they want to maybe they would just want an office job with air conditioning, right? So if you tell them, oh, we're bringing in an initiative to grow rice in Ghana, they're like, are you stupid? That doesn't help me today. But the point is that it, like, over long term, right?
Yeah.
You stop depending on buying rice, jasmine rice from China. You know what I'm saying? You can actually start selling it to the world.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Because they were complaining that Ghana rice was bad. Like, rice grown in Ghana wasn't the best quality. Yeah. That's why they buy it from they import from elsewhere. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And there was let's just say there was a lengthy discussion.
And that was my point.
And I had some juice in my system.
Yeah. And my point remains, again, it's embedded in them. It's ingrained in them.
Yeah.
So
But then they complain for change too.
100%.
So the only way to see the change
It's to
is
suck
to,
those
is to uproot them.
See the thing is to I was talking to this older guy in Ghana maybe 2 years ago, and he was telling me sometimes a lot of people are against radical change, but sometimes radical change is necessary.
Oh, facts.
Because
That's
sometimes you
revolution,
have to be cold-hearted, cold-blooded for your point to get across, and then once it's across, everybody's history will validate you as compared to present day, because everybody will be like, oh, this person was evil, he didn't consider everybody that this person suffered, that person suffered, but ultimately at the end of the day there was some level of triumph or success within that mindset. You know what I'm saying? I would say what he told me to say, but you know, it'd be a little aggressive for the pod.
Come on.
Hey, man.
I think I know where you're going.
I just fired up Charles Barkley. You can be aggressive.
That was funny.
So essentially, he said think about it like this, right? Let's take Ghana for example. Since we're on the topic, we're going to talk about it. So let's take Ghana for example. He said there are a lot of pastors in Ghana who do not have what is equivalent to an associate's degree in the United States. So there's no real validation to their credential. You know what I'm saying? People just starting churches just to start churches.
Like as in they didn't go to theology school.
Or some type of vocational school that, you know, like you know how there's sometimes in churches there's like programs that lead you that you go, there's steps that you go through to become a pastor, and then at some point you're ordained. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He said there's a lot of self-ordained pastors, people who say they talk to God, and he says start a church and do that. So, you know, of course you don't want to be that type of person like, yo, I don't, you know, like I can't really say that God didn't talk to you and tell you had to be a pastor, whatever the case may be. But there's no, it's almost like how Trump got into office. It was just like you didn't have no prior experience, but you got there. You know what I'm saying? So he was just like, he would mandate, if he was president, that if you do not go to a vocational school, I don't even think it's that long, maybe like a year.
Yeah.
All pastors who are ahead of churches and don't have any like the vocational school certificate, background, whatever the case may be, the churches will be closed down.
See,
and the reason why he said he's doing that is because at the location of some of these churches, it's preventing expansion of road. It's causing the extra clutter, and it's causing where people can no longer build land there because you're encroaching on somebody's.
Whoever said that you know is a genius.
He is a genius.
That's one of the most amazing things I've ever heard. He's a genius. It's so here's the thing. It's conflicting. It can be conflicting.
It's not because
it can be conflicting to someone.
Because people take it from the spiritual aspect,
and that's what I was about to say.
But in terms of your country, that's probably the wisest thing I've ever heard.
I was about to say
this is real rap.
We come from a spiritual culture as Africans.
Yes, 100%.
And I'm not even just speaking about Christianity, like churches. Just spiritual, like the olden days, their gods, like everything was spiritual. It wasn't no school. So Christianity came after, you know what I'm saying, or Islam or whatever. Yeah. Ain't nobody going to school to be no imam. So it's like, now you want to tell me, it's like, you know, they feel the spirit. God called them.
So 100%.
But there is I'm sure there is some formal.
Yeah, you know because they have theology school, they have Bible school, and then even.
But I think that counts as to what.
Yeah, like if there's some, I think he was also saying if there's some level of teaching, because some people just do it impulsively. It's almost like,
of course,
like
my mom went through one of the
prime example, right? Like you can have let's go to a shopping center, for example. You're not gonna have 2 Chipotles in the shopping center, right? But in Ghana, you'll probably have two of the same chop bars that sell the same exact thing. It's just a different lady cooking it right next to each other. You understand what I'm saying? And that doesn't expand or, you know, grow anybody's market. But, you know, the mindset is like, oh, we're gonna be here, we're gonna hustle. Somebody's gonna win one day, somebody's gonna lose another day. But we're just gonna keep hustling and hustling.
Where my family church is in Maryland. I mean,
yeah, of course.
There's literally another church right next to it. Like it's 2 churches, and then at the back of my church, there's literally another church that's an African church. Yeah. The church that's next to it is like a 7-day Adventist American.
Yeah.
But the joint behind my church is an African Nigerian church.
Yeah.
I'm talking.
Have you ever been there?
Nah, because I've been to my church since we came to America.
Yeah.
But it's like literally, it's this one Cameroon, one dude that we play soccer with. And when we did indoor soccer, he goes to that church. So me and him see each other. We dab,
Chop it up. Yeah,
we chop it up.
Stefan?
Yes. Stefan.
You told me.
Yeah, he goes to that church.
And his woman's
Exactly. he goes to that church. So it's like, when you just said that, and I never thought of it, like, dang, it's literally 2 churches. Like, we're literally stacked, 3 churches stacked next to each other.
Yeah. So he suggested it, and I was just like, I'm not. He said it's very radical and it's very politically, because you know how you're supposed to have the pastors on your side.
That would
a lot of pastors will lose their
bloodshed.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm telling you, that would cause a religious war.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it would be a new crusade. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
because
bro.
every pastor that gets deposed and their congregation,
especially the preachers that have been preaching for a while.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
But the thing is, it's so true, because if you really, even if you go back to Nigeria, you'll notice that even I wish Mitty was here. You can literally see that there's things that are here that are necessary. Like you can move this somewhere else. Even I was talking to Nadia, our digital strategist. She was just like, the way Ghana does things. I think the people that Yao and them was talking about economic, they were just like, whatever works for Accra, they assume it to work for Kumasi, Tamale, Takrady. Like they don't change up the method according to each location. So if it's a 2 road here, everybody's gonna have 2 road. We're gonna have 1 bridge, 2 road and 1 bridge, 2 road and 1 bridge everywhere. Instead of actually like doing some, Nadia brought this to my attention. She was just like, in Ghana, how many places do you see that have a park, like a park? Like a park where you can go walk, see trees, have a playground and all of that for kids to go play at. I'm just like, damn, you got a point, shorty. I never thought about that.
It's not really.
And she was just like, even how, if you think about agriculture, the way the sun hits buildings and hits, your crops and all of that. Unless you're in the farm, you're SOL in a lot of places in Ghana, because it's like they have buildings that are blocking the sunlight. So it's like things, the photosynthesis and all of that. I was just like, damn, yo.
Photosynthesis.
I never really thought about that.
But kids gonna play definitely in Africa.
Yeah, but I mean, kids play in the street.
Exactly.
And everything is definitely it's like a one way in, one way out type thing. It's not like it's a very lawless land, I'll say. And the irony is that Ghana independence is literally this coming Friday.
Shout out.
So us having this conversation is definitely something that we didn't even plan. We literally fell into.
It was sparked the moment.
The mind is there. I think even for a lot of the youth people, the mind is there. Like the mind to elevate Ghana is there, but the way the infrastructure is set up now, that level of growth that you need is toast almost.
Yeah, it can't happen. Accra is already too bad.
Yeah, like you would have to build another city, resemble it, and then after some time
to debate that point though, there is Tema though, which is unlike any other thing in Accra.
Yeah, the only bad thing about it is getting to Tema though.
Facts. But Tema itself is structured in a very different way.
Yes.
Very paved roads.
Yes.
Very open roads. It's a connective system. There's different communities. Community 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way through like 19 or 20 or something.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
It's actually done with foresight, right? Accra is not like that though.
And that's the capital, right?
Accra's the capital, yeah.
So
but I think it's a good conversation to have.
100%.
That religion joint, that pastor thing is serious.
It's very serious.
That's joint is like a bomb in my brain, man.
Do y'all have mosques?
Yeah,
of course.
But the mosques aren't set up like how the churches are set up.
But we have a smaller population.
Like you can literally have like a 30-person church in the middle of like what will be considered a cul-de-sac. You can have 2 of them, literally one behind your house and literally one directly next to your house. And
they pop up so much.
And it's like it's lawless. So how you gonna go? It's like if they're making noise at let's say they do an all night service and they're doing drums and all that, and then Are you really going to go there and tell them be quiet?
No, listen.
Why you just
You don't-
trying to sleep?
When you wake up in Ghana, you don't even have to go to church. You just put your ear out the window and you
You
get
hear
your
the sermon, 100%.
I promise you, son. Everything.
100%.
But it's interesting. But if you think about like economic stuff, there's a vast overproduction of that in that society.
Yes.
So that's an interesting concept. What I will say is that idea would be shunned.
It would be shunned big time.
I just want to say
Nobody would do it.
I think it's amazing.
God president? Is he a Christian?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say that, of course, I mean, we are highly.
So he will probably be against it.
Of course.
I'm sure.
Because the one thing is that
it will make
your pastoral support
because I was
is like everything.
Even maybe his own pastor might not have that. Because y'all president has got to be older. So his president is probably around his age, or maybe his pastor. So he might not have an associate.
It's true.
Or whatever.
It's only, but the thing is, I wouldn't say it's difficult to achieve it, but if you know
the church vote,
yeah, like I'm going
literally
to.
nobody from church will vote.
I'm gonna say
but like the thing is, you can't campaign like that. You would have to get in and then make that decision. And
exactly.
whoever wants to smoke with you, you just gonna have to be armied up pretty much.
Yeah, I would say that in my upbringing, I have definitely seen a lot of young African guys, some immigrants and stuff that have definitely, and I'm just being as real as I can be right now, that have definitely become pastors. Some, I ain't name no names or nothing, as like a get rich quick scheme.
100%.
I have seen multiple of them.
100%.
So that goes to where the credential comes into play.
Yeah.
Because it no longer becomes something quick.
Yeah.
Like how dedicated are you to this thing? So that's serious. Another thing though, back to the original point of like outsider ideas coming in, because I remember when I had this conversation with these people in Ghana, and there was a girl that grew up in Ghana that was like yelling at me about it. She was getting kind of heated about it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we follow each other now. She's cool though. Afterwards, I went and I was like talking with citizens about it. And he was like, if you think about it though, those people that are coming from outside and don't have the right ideas, especially like what Femi just said about bringing it all together, if we say that everyone should come from outside and bring their way of life and their standard and whatever, he said that is a form of colonialism, actually. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did say that. I remember that conversation.
I was like, damn, bruh.
Depending on how you look at it,
That is interesting, too.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, it's just different ways to look at it, right?
Yeah.
The right way of doing it.
Why are you bringing your American
and
ways here?
And that's why
your foreign ways here.
And that's why I say work together. It's not like, and it's kind of like when I said when I came to this country, my goal was to, like acculturate, not to assimilate.
Facts.
So like when people come home and try to bring their ideas, it's not that you then adopt all their ways and you like leave all your ways behind.
Right.
But it's like, let's say if
it's like a handshake.
Let's say if certain roads being done a certain way will actually be beneficial. Maybe it will lower crime rate. Maybe it will make cars better, which might in some way enhance the economy or whatever it is. Okay, maybe we can adopt that. Or whatever they see as beneficial. Because the point of society is to move forward, get better. But certain things, of course, it might stay the same like certain values. But when it comes to your economy, like the goal is for your economy to get better.
100%.
So it's for them to just have an open mind, not saying, hey, okay, whatever you guys say, we trust you because you're from the West. But listen and just see how that plan is supposed to be carried out and see, hey, will this be beneficial for us?
But it's funny to me, too, because when I thought about that debate, I was like, okay, but you turn on MTV and BET, and you want to emulate entertainment, fashion, style.
Exactly.
Y'all out here yelling N-word and all this stuff, right? But when it comes to something that has to do with economics and stuff, then you feel like it's a radical takeover. So that's backwards, dog.
See, that's what I agree with in terms of that's backwards.
Exactly.
When it comes to the music, don't emulate that.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's not your culture. That's not your foundation.
Yeah.
Just be you.
Yeah.
But when it comes to other things that will enhance your economy or your country,
Right.
what's wrong in adopting some of those?
Yeah, and I think it goes back to, again, they think that they need to fix today instead of working towards
For
the future
future.
to fix for
There's a
today.
lot. So, like, for example, I think I've had this conversation with Mitty before where he said, like, the democratic system actually doesn't fit, like, in West Africa and stuff like that.
Fair.
But they do it to copy the
Yeah.
American world, right?
Yeah.
To an extent, right?
To an extent, yes.
Like, for example, there's countries like Singapore and stuff. They have a leader, right? And Singapore is economically, like, booming. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
I'm not saying that someone should be president for life, but, like, for example, someone like Kwame Nkrumah, like, he was doing this stuff, da-da-da-da. Why do he have to give up after 8 years when you know the next person is going to just erase everything?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's just a different way of looking at stuff.
Nigeria, they got like 80 parties.
Hey, I heard that someone said
Somebody said that.
your
I heard that
president's a
before.
clone or something. Is that a real thing? I said
Because he was missing for a while.
I saw that on the comedy show. He was like, dude, I'm Nigerian. And he was like, this is the type of problems we have in Nigeria. Like,
They
people
say
think our
he's
president's
sick.
a clone. I was like, what?
Yeah, because he was sick, allegedly.
He got low.
Yeah, and
And they just
they
reappeared.
say somebody tried to poison him.
I remember that.
Man, Buhari is a. Don't let me.
It's a boss.
Yeah, but
Anyway,
yeah. So that was an impromptu deep dive, but you know,
Yeah,
again, big ups to Great Ghana. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out.
Independence 63.
yeah.
This coming
absolutely.
Friday.
Shout out.
It's a beautiful thing.
It really
you know
all
what I'm
relates to
saying?
the conversation.
I mean, of course, you know, I'm not saying that Africa and specifically Ghana ain't working towards improving itself.
Facts.
Definitely not saying that, but in terms of the mindset that we're talking about now, very few have it, and the people who do have it aren't in position to implement it.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge, because you know, like even they were talking to us about they wanted to create the air travel before fixing the one way roads that they have in Ghana. You know what I'm saying? Even Ghana recently they bought a whole fleet of ambulances, but my thing is, in my mind, I'm just like, that's cool and all, but you still have one way roads. So and you have always impromptu traffic getting to places. You haven't expanded making 4 lanes, you know, overpasses and all those type of things. So it's almost like you're putting, you get somebody who needs to get to the hospital ASAP, you putting them in a little bit of a danger, a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But
A little.
but you know, at least the thought is there. So hopefully somebody who's coming up, you know, within the next 5 years can implement something better.
Ghana turned 63 this year.
Yeah.
I mean, this year Nigeria turned 60.
I believe so.
Man, I'm so washed up.
Or is it 61? I don't know.
60 or 61.
One.
I'm so washed.
You don't even know what's
Yeah,
it.
bruh. And I think it's 60 though, because you had 3 years. I think we 1960.
Yeah, we 57.
Yeah, okay. So it's 3 years, so 60.
March 6th.
Yeah.
And we are not promoting any
No.
Independence Day events
No,
this
sir.
year. So
Damn,
you
No,
guys
sir.
find out on your own.
2021 though, catch us.
Oh yeah.
2021 catch us.
We've been having some conversations.
2021 catch us. But to get into some lighter things, Dr. Fem Dizzle, the people still with you on the Instagram poll concerning is a private person sneaky. I think it's fair to say like 97% of the people said no, and like 2% or 3% of the people said yeah.
So
they
like
kinda,
one person?
no, like two.
2 people?
2 people I counted.
Okay.
I might have missed it, but
So most people was like,
And one of them was me. Bro.
I mean, I'm excluding y'all, but I'm just saying like there was 2 people who were just
you
like,
saw, 'cause you can
yes,
see who
I
did.
can see
Okay,
who.
okay.
I don't remember the people, but thank y'all for you know what I'm saying your Instagram comments and you know mentions on that, man.
Yo, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, I just a stern believer in, you know,
Being private.
private life, happy life. I mean, as in, you know, you just get to live your life, and that's what a lot of celebrities, you know, or famous people, that's the, you know, what they don't get. You know what I'm saying? They don't get to do that. So everything they do, all their mistakes is seen. Like, you're living your life out in this public eye, and, you know, to a very, very lower degree, you know, that's kind of what social media, especially social media, has brought to us common folk, non-famous people. Because it's like, oh, man, you at work today, you will show yourself. I'm at my job. I got a promotion. I got this. I graduated. I got a new relationship. It's Valentine's Day. They propose. And then when things go bad, you start to they stop seeing those posts. People who monitor you. Oh, then you removed the person you was posting, so now they're all in your business. They see you with somebody else. Now it's like, It's like, that's not what life was made for. I was born before social media
100%
was created. So, I've learned to live my life a certain way. Social media came. I utilize it for what I want to use. And this is actually perfect to the conversation we were just having in terms of, bringing your new ideas to old ways. So I utilize social media. But I have boundaries.
100%.
So I utilize it for what I want to use it for. Okay, Africanist, I can promote. I can do this, I can do that. Whenever I want to post something, I will. But when it comes to my private, personal life, just because I have social media don't mean I have to show y'all everything. And that's what I feel like some people don't do, or they don't maybe grasp or understand, or they do grasp but they don't care, and that's their prerogative. But don't now label me sneaky because I choose to not abide by what y'all think is a certain way of life.
I found it interesting. It was such a landslide.
Yeah.
Even when we had that conversation, I guess it's all about how you phrase stuff. Because if you turn around and you ask it in the way of, hey, is it okay for a guy to be dealing with a woman and not ever post her, then you're going to get a different response.
Yeah,
because that pause giving, we had that conversation. And it was a lot more divisive.
Yeah.
You feel me? But the joint was a landslide that we put on social media.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
Well, since we're on the topic of social media, I'm gonna put this as another post tomorrow, once this pod drop. During our social media, let's say prior to Facebook, right? Because at Facebook at a certain point in time, you had to be only a college student before.
Yeah, Facebook came like 05, 04.
Yeah, you had to be a college student in order to apply for it at first, before, and then it reduced it to high school. So during our time, all three of us, we had High Five, we had Black Planet, and MySpace.
I never had a Black Planet. Let me just be clear.
Whoa, I had one.
Yeah. Let me go ahead.
But if you were to pick any of the three,
I only had MySpace.
Wow.
And Facebook.
Me too.
I think I might have made a Black Planet after it stopped being popping.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Because I got I wasn't born here.
Okay,
bro.
so if you were to pick, let's take all four.
Bebo.
High Five, Black Planet. Damn, you're right. But forget that one. Black Planet, High Five, Facebook, and Black Planet, MySpace, High Five, and Facebook. Right?
Yeah.
If you would pick any of the four, which one was like
the best?
Your personal best?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I love MySpace, man. Just because the music
MySpace was ratchet,
dog. The music
was tight.
The music was dope, and then
I had like a Zero song on it or something.
Nah, dog. In my freshman year, me and shout out to Chris Foreman and them. We used to record songs, so I would put my own song on my page. You know what I'm saying? Like we would record on like instrumentals. So I know I recorded on like T.I., what you know about that, and Rick Ross. That's when Hustling came out. Yeah. So I did my own freestyle on there, put it on my page, and then this when
you gotta find the freestyle, bro. You gotta share it with the people.
I
you know
know.
this.
And
I'm sure it was very profanity laden.
And this when the video vixens used to be popular.
That's why I love Black
So
Planet.
like,
because I used to see all the popping.
No, but
joints, dog.
But MySpace used to could put them as your background.
So but here's my issue. Here's my
background
issue.
used to be video vixens and Kobe.
Here's my issue with the MySpace. a lot of people got into beefs over their that top 5,
the
top
top
10
five,
or
top
whatever.
8 or
Yo,
whatever.
so much people
it was serious.
damn, you're not gonna put me in your top. Like people used to fight over that, bro.
That's why it was dope.
That's why I prefer
to.
Black Panther, because Black Panther you can literally go through, and it was like Black Panther was like the least in terms of privacy, for at least for like I could go to several different people's pages. You had the music, and like I feel like people like really took time to
That kind of
design
music too.
Hell yeah, and people took time to like literally design their page. Like people were like mini coders, so they were
We was coders with the MySpace.
So MySpace was
Coded.
open source, so people were coding all types of programs.
Exactly.
People were
The
researching.
problem was MySpace was so glitchy. Them joints
Yeah,
used to break down.
yeah,
Because I remember they added a joint that was basically like you could see the last people that visited your page.
Exactly.
That joint was broken. Because I'm gonna tell you, I remember this like it was yesterday. It was like serving me certain people on my page, and like it was putting me on somebody's page. I remember we were in undergrad, and it was like these freshmen like girls that were like coming up to me like, "Y'all, you keep showing up." Like someone like pulled me to the side like, "Y'all, you keep showing up on someone else's page, etc., etc." And I was like, "How do you go on this girl page?" So then I had to like unplug that little plugin or whatever. MySpace had some problems.
Yeah, it was a lot of.
The coding on Black Planet sounds better.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Cause that joint, man, was getting me hemmed up, bro. In my young days.
If you
bro.
get hemmed up, don't mention
But MySpace
my
had
name.
it lasted a little while. I had a little run.
Yeah, they had a great run.
Like it was a good like 2-3 years.
MySpace was good till we got to college.
Yeah, and I think once college hit, Facebook, the way
Yeah.
Facebook transcended, and then the way people use Facebook too was OC. Like,
Facebook kept expanding.
Yeah.
Every day was something new.
yeah.
Because the thing is, dog, like,
When they dropped that chat,
yeah.
No, matter of fact, what was the most dangerous was the poke, dog.
Oh yeah,
the poke was
Bro,
wicked.
I used to
poke back. You get on that joint, see,
I used to poke hella bit.
I know you did.
And
was that what you-
once they poked me back, I was like, shoot, it's on.
No, here's the funny joint. If you would go to a girl you like or whatever, in undergrad, and she opened her Facebook up, and you look and you see hella folks.
Yeah, oh my god, yo,
Why they keep poking you?
yo, man.
The poke was deadly, yo.
Poke was deadly, bro.
I ain't gonna lie.
Poke was a problem, man.
I mean, of course, it's all about money. You know what I'm saying? Freaking Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
But man, when it was just college, it was too litty, man.
Facebook was amazing. Man.
Facebook was amazing once college hit, but I'll say for me, prior to Facebook, Black Planet was definitely.
I never experienced Black Planet.
High Five was cool, but it wasn't like
I never
Because I was
experienced
still in high
Hi-Fi.
school during Black Planet, and at the time, I was just like, nah.
Bama's had Black Planet when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
But
Middle
at
school
the
was really
time,
popular.
I wasn't computer savvy.
Yeah, I had a high five though. Do you have a high five?
Nah.
You have a high five, Quake?
Yeah, dude.
I had a high five. High five was like, it wasn't ratchet, but I don't know why it was cool, but it was short lived.
Yeah, it was very short lived.
And it was all babes. It was mostly babes on high five.
I started MySpace when I was in Texas, actually. So when I came back to Maryland people still wasn't as hip to MySpace yet. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So like when my Maryland people started getting hip, my whole top was my peoples from Texas. You know what I'm saying? They're like, yo, why you got these Hispanics
So let me
on your top?
your top friends.
Yeah, like my top 8.
Bro, people used to take that seriously. Your top 8,
yeah.
man.
Bro.
Like it was fighting words.
I used to use it to manipulate. You know what I'm saying? So when I wasn't, feeling you, or I would
Then you
just,
take 'em off?
yeah, and I'll put somebody else in there that maybe I know you might not like, or y'all not in good standing.
At the young age,
Yeah.
you were manipulated.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna tell you the thing was, I preferred the days of Facebook, Twitter,
Of course.
to today's day where and even Snapchat to today's day where it's just like Instagram focused. And I'm gonna tell you why. The reason being is that like when Facebook was popping, it was about your relationships with these people. You understand what I'm saying? Like staying connected with people. Yo, Facebook didn't even have that many pictures back then. It was just a profile picture. It was about, we used to talk to each other, relate to your friends, find somebody get on there, let's go to the library, study, all that, whatever. Of course, we used it to get babes, but that goes on everywhere.
Yeah,
Even
of course.
LinkedIn, people go slide DMs.
100%.
Exactly. If you don't know, you know now. The thing was,
Talking about
Twitter.
networking.
Twitter was dope because Twitter was about what you had to say, what you thought about a topic.
It was
what
jokes.
is moving you, what's trending right now. What Ghana independence, you go on there and it was become Ghana Twitter. Next thing I'm started tweeting about Kwame Nkrumah. Next thing you know, had all these Ghanaian girl Twitter followers. To this day, we are cool.
Oh, y'all know that we used to do African Twitter after dark?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Remember African Dad on Twitter?
Yeah.
Bro, the way people used
Man.
to, people Ohio, Texas,
Facts.
Utah,
Man,
Colorado,
it was serious,
everybody would
man.
come and be participating, bro.
It was beautiful.
You made friends.
You would talk to people. Thank you. Just because you had a similar viewpoint on
That's
a topic, retweets. Next thing you knew, boom. You were talking to people you don't even know. I loved it. Right now, the Instagram generation, even I like Snapchat. Snapchat was personal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Snapchat was cool. You didn't have to have 400 followers.
Nope.
No one knew whatever. This is just your journey, your day,
Yep.
what's going on, common experiences. I remember it was a snow blizzard. And everybody was at home taking shots, sending the pictures around. I miss those days. Instagram is a fake world, bruh. And the thing about the big difference between Instagram and the ones of past, Instagram is just about how you look, your picture, what you doing, how can I look glamorous, all that stuff like that. It's artificial.
But do you think it matches the day and age that we're in?
100%.
It
Bro,
does, unfortunately.
You know what I found? You know
But
what I found
think
out?
both are spurring each other, though. You know what I mean? I don't know about chicken versus the egg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like they're both equally,
You know what I found out today? I was listening to something, and they said that Fashion Nova spent $40 million on
promoting all
influencers.
this. Yeah.
They give people their clothes and they pay them. But then all the influencers that wear Fashion Nova, they paid out $40 million last year for them.
That doesn't surprise me.
Flat Tummy T did $13 million or something like that, bro.
So like people like Cardi B and them.
And
Yeah,
again,
and
because
Shade Room.
Instagram, because you're not gonna get the bang for your buck, like to what y'all saying. You're not about to get that on. You're not really about to get that on Snapchat for real. You're not really about to get that on
Because
Twitter.
it's closed.
Instagram, that's where people just it's like lock and load, look central. You gotta
It's pressure to
you
look
gotta-
a certain
you
way.
gotta-
It's pressure to see.
You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
I mean, come on,
I
man.
mean, they created a filter. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Back in the days, it wasn't no,
Wasn't no filter. Wasn't no
so,
filter.
I mean, it's really, I mean, it's sad times that we in right now, man. It's sad times.
Yeah, man. But that's a lot of money for influencers and all that jazz.
It's effective.
But,
they probably making, they making it.
It's big business.
They're making the money.
Yeah. So, before we get out of here, I wanted to play you guys this clip that I saw like 2 weeks ago. It was circulating on Twitter, which I'm still on. Let's hear the clip.
Here you go.
Okay. Open it for me. Let me see. See what she got.
Some cologne.
Cologne?
Yes. Jimmy Choo. How about your rental property?
Hey! Yeah, what about this fucking house for rental property? Now that's a real boss chick right there. That's a real boss chick right there. Okay. Okay. I like that. Dog, I want like a Rolex, a chain.
What I tell you?
Something. Fuck your rental property. You got it home, nigga. Where's this at? Read it out.
Just on the east side.
Oh, Dex, this on Dex.
So that's the clip right there. This guy's girlfriend
For his birthday.
got him a cologne and bought him a rental property. Right?
She brought him to Jimmy Choo's as well.
Jimmy Choo cologne.
Me and Moon might be using that joint.
Jimmy Choo cologne
Jimmy Choo man.
and a rental property. But he was just like, I wanted a chain and a Rolex.
Yeah, she should go ahead and dump him. Right now.
I agree with you.
Like right now.
Bro,
Don't even waste your time.
what she got you can get you 50 of those, bro.
Here's the thing.
Respect or nah.
So here's the thing.
Pretty much.
Here's the thing. They sat there and recorded it.
They recorded it,
the
bro.
way they did it, they expect him to have a huge reaction.
Uh-huh.
His own mans were behind the camera in the
His
background.
mans was like, yo, that's a boss.
This is a, you know what I mean? And he's the look on his face. He's so he doesn't even care.
Yeah.
He's like, bruh, I wanted to watch.
Watch.
I want him to do. He's like, I'm not fixing that up.
Yeah.
I'm not doing.
Foolishness, bro.
Are you stupid?
Bro. And
He doesn't like her. I'm gonna tell you why. No, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth why. Because the only situation I can see myself doing that is if I'm like, I don't want to deal with this woman, right? Because I'm gonna explain why. This rental property is gonna be something, I guess, that's probably in her name, his name, whatever. It's gonna end up being a long-term project. It's something that they're both gonna work on. So maybe he's like, all right, I'm not about to be in a relationship with you. I just wanted my gold chain or my Rolex so I can step. That's the only way it can make logical sense to me, bro.
I like the angle.
That's the only way it can make logical sense, bro.
I like the angle that
You know what I mean?
that you attacked it, but I'm gonna go this angle. Stephen A. Smith. It's like, nah. So earlier you guys talked about Gio's cousins.
yes.
And you guys talked
the young
about
boys and
you guys talked about
Yeah.
they just want this.
Yeah.
So I think
Right
that's
now.
what is going on with this
instant
guy.
gratification.
Instant gratification. I'm just trying bling is my B-day. I'm trying to shine. Like this dude has a slave mentality.
Facts.
He's enslaved.
Facts.
So he doesn't see the opportunity because it's not instant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You may have to fix it up. You may have to do this, but he doesn't see like, yo, what can come out of this can maybe create generational wealth.
Facts.
He just like, it's my birthday. I'm trying to look good. I'm trying to hit the club. I'm trying to post a pic on the gram. You know?
Yeah.
So, which is very sad because clearly his woman, she wasn't on that tip. She trying to worry about his future.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, ladies, if y'all are out there and y'all in the situations like this where you and your mate see this far apart in terms of instant gratification and investment,
Leave.
and in future gains versus the now at this age, these are grown people on this video. These are not high schoolers.
Grown, bro.
It don't make no sense. If y'all are that far apart, I'm telling y'all, ladies, just leave him, son, because it doesn't make a lot of, bruh.
But the D,
I would cry,
the
son.
D bomb though, bruh. What if the D is bomb?
Yo, I would literally cry.
So my
I
take
see
on this is that, right, and this goes back to
his credit probably not good enough to even get a rental property. You feel me? She just gave you the best gift you can get.
that's a fact. So, but I was having this conversation with somebody older, and they were talking about how their significant other never really gives them like the best gifts. But you know, they just take it as it is because, you know, whatever. But if like the guy doesn't get the best gifts from his lady, right? Like it'd be okay gifts, but it's not like you can tell like she didn't really put her all into like trying to get him a nice gift.
What's the best gift y'all done got
I don't.
from a significant?
I will say from a significant other, the whiteboard that's in my room. I had a small whiteboard and she got me a bigger whiteboard.
Oh, one of your old queens.
Yeah, and then I mean, because the thing is, I'm simple. Like
She got you a whiteboard.
Yeah, like I had a whiteboard.
like
I had a small
vision-
one, right? And she
okay.
got me a bigger whiteboard.
So you can like write your goals, your plans.
And then I'm a simple guy. Like,
and what's the best gift you done give her?
well, bro, I can't give out my secrets.
I mean,
But just know I'm a great gift giver.
okay. So compared to the whiteboards,
The thing is, I'm simple, right? Because even like one of my old exes,
I
she
mean,
got me.
this brother's simple. All he wanted was a chain, but this woman,
No.
exactly.
But you got to hear what I'm saying.
But
By
this
why I'm
woman
simple.
said, "Nah, I'm not gonna make you simple. I'm gonna give you something that's gonna change your life."
Let me get
So
to
I
my.
know you simple, DJ Earthquake.
I'm trying to get to
I
my
know
point.
that.
I'm trying to get to my
But
point.
I'm saying, you know, because I know you's a great gift giver. Because I done seen you. I done seen your gifts.
You done talked about some.
You know exactly.
The suitcase full of gifts.
But those not even the
Suitcase full of gifts. I was like, damn.
Those not even the hot
can't
iron
even
gifts.
fit.
I done seen this brother because I done delivered one of his gifts.
I can't even fill a gift bag of gifts.
I done
That's a fact.
delivered-
This man said suitcase.
Hey,
bro.
I done delivered one of this
He did.
brother's gifts
While I was
when he
traveling.
wasn't in town.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking from experience.
But let me say
That's
what
why
let me say my point.
I'm challenging you on this stupid white boy nonsense.
The thing, but here's my point.
Hey,
I like I told y'all before. In my love languages,
not
giving me gifts, it doesn't do anything for me. Like I'm not. If you do something for me, then I appreciate it. So like even something that's so simple as, getting me some Miami Heat beanies. If you give me a lot of those, I'm happy, bro. I'm simple. That's how simple I am, bro. If you decide to, I don't need.
better not give
I
me
don't
no
need.
damn
I don't need. Like for
I don't
example,
care if it's cooked.
I know my best friend. She's got me a watch before. She got me like a nice little big old cake before. You know what I'm saying? Like she's got me nice gifts before. You know what I'm saying?
Best friend, nice.
Yeah, and
She got me a cake
like
before,
one
too.
of the former vice president of ASA. You know. Miss formerly Miss Hill. I don't know her last name now. But she got me a gift before, you know what I'm saying? People got me some cool stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I don't really care for gifts like that.
Better than white boys, it sound like.
Anyways, to my point is that
I told.
when I was talking to the guy, he was saying that her gifts aren't the greatest.
I've been through that
right?
before.
But he can take it. But if his gifts aren't the greatest, it's just like so. Like if you don't get some people are, if you don't get them the gift that they want, they throw a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
Like I know we've seen some videos where it's like a woman, even for like Valentine's Day or birthday, the dude got her some stuff like before, and she was just like, "This is not what I asked you for." And a lot of people on social media was like, "Yeah, get her what she asked for."
Nah, I'm not gonna.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna be in no relationship like that. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
You know what I'm saying? So there's people like that where
you
it's just
definitely
like,
ain't gonna put that on social media.
I appreciate the gift, but this is not what I asked you for. And
Yeah,
there's
okay.
and the people that won't
But guess what,
appreciate
though?
it. And that's that guy right there. He's
They
like,
not there Monday through Sunday, every other day of the week. You don't know what his brother's doing. You don't know what's going on between them. Women gonna follow that. I won't find myself in no relationship like that.
Yeah.
Look, man, I'll be damned.
See the
I'll be
point.
damned.
The point of gifts is not. Oh yeah, I want this. Get me this. You do that for yourself.
Yes.
Now, if you've mentioned something, the point of gift is from me, from my heart. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a kid and you made a list, you know what I'm saying? Then you try to. But you're not. You ain't no kid. You're an adult. You got money just like I got money. So don't be expecting me to get you. Oh, this is my wish. I can get you that, but that's out the kindness of my heart and
100%.
me being thoughtful.
100%.
But if you think you're going to throw a tantrum,
And
man,
then put it on social
my
media.
mother, when I growing up, my mother done got me hella sweaters, and I'm like, bro, ain't nobody want this. You think
Thank you.
You think
So,
I'm going to throw a
y'all
tantrum?
don't know how it is. Like, I grew up as an African male. Do y'all know what I was getting for Christmas? Exactly. Do y'all know, like...
I've never got no games.
pajamas that don't fit, bro.
Thank you. Yo, I'm not even going to sit here and even tell the stories because I love my parents.
I got white tees. And
But
I'm like,
thank
bro.
you. But what it taught me was that this is not central.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm
100%.
saying? The levels in the home. I had a warm home and all that.
Exactly.
But last time we had this conversation, people gonna tell Fem Dizzle that I'm coming off like I'm cheap. So it's all good. It's all good, man. I don't cap.
Don't make it.
So my whole mindset is that it's also if you he was also saying if you take it from the other side, if the person told you that this is what they want and you don't get it for them, it's like, damn, are you not listening to me?
You don't
like,
tell
are
me what you want.
You know what I'm saying?
If you want something, go get it yourself.
I mean, that could be the dynamic. But my thing is,
you can slob on my knob. Nah, y'all gotta stop.
but that's no. But that could
I'm
be the
just
dynamic.
presenting the other side because
could be the
because
dynamic,
it's
but-
just like, okay, but I'm telling you exactly what I want.
You don't get to tell me what you want.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
You can tell me.
It's almost like all right. I asked for Christmas. I said, yo, can you give me a North Face jacket?
I'm not your father.
And then that's what I'm asking you. Listen. You asked me what do I want?
Do you work? No, I'm just saying, do you work?
But you're changing the.
No, I get it.
But that's
Because if this North Face is something you need to survive, then you would have gotten it. But it is not a necessity. It is something that you want. So when something is not a necessity, if I don't pay my rent, they'll evict me.
Listen to my scenario before
If
you
you
go
don't
to
eat,
the
you
example.
will starve and die.
Listen to my scenario before you go to that example.
Okay.
I'm saying your girl asked you. Let's say you have a girlfriend. She asked you. You asked her, "Yo, what do you want for Christmas?"
What
For
you want?
example.
What you want, boo?
What you want for Christmas? And she said,
that's what I do to boo.
I want a North Face jacket for Christmas, right?
I got you, boo.
Cool. You say that, right?
I'm gonna think about it. I don't say I say that.
Wait, let's just say you said that in that dynamic,
I wouldn't.
right? I'm just saying.
Okay.
But you realize, hey, North Face is a little bit out of my budget, and you cop her, and then you tell her like, yeah, I got you a Columbia.
North Face
and
is,
if she's not appreciative of that, how would you feel?
First of all, North Face will never be out my budget because
I know
I can handle it.
Okay.
But if I chose to not get her a North Face, whatever I get you, be appreciative. Because guess what? These brands don't make or break us. Do you want a jacket or do you want a North Face? Why is it North Face a bust? Is it North Face or nothing? Because if that's what it is, boo-boo, take your black behind to the store and get yourself a North Face.
Look, I'm gonna tell you,
like,
I have been in a dynamic before where it was like, look, all right, I am a somewhat picky person, right? So like,
so that's you in this scenario.
Exactly. So I'm saying that was a different situation though. I was like, look, if you're gonna go and buy me some clothing item or something, just don't be mad if I don't wear it. That's all I'm saying, because I know that I have a very specific style and taste or whatever, and from my experiences, and maybe it's phobia from my upbringing, but my mom getting me the African shirts. I'm like, look, I like to clothe myself. So that's what I told this young lady I was dealing with. Mm-hmm. So we came up with the thing where it was like, all right, this is my list of preferred items, and y'all give me yours. And I probably opted not to even give anything, because it was like,
because it's expensive. Titan King.
Anyway, so the point is, in that situation,
Big Bulla.
I understand if I go outside of it, and it's like, However, Femi is still right. If I did, you don't have a right to get pissed off and upset and then put it on social media. And if you have that mentality, I would be out the door.
It's nothing wrong with, or even if it's you, Quick, it's nothing wrong with you guys having a preference of, hey, I wear Gucci, I wear Prada.
Yeah.
You can have that.
Yeah.
However, if I don't get you Gucci, Prada, if I get you
Chanel,
Chanel,
Hey, what do you mean? That's more expensive.
if I get you
Burberry.
Shaquille O'Neal, if I get you Polo,
Facts.
you know what I'm saying? Lacoste.
That's a good one.
You may not like it. It may not be your style. But you don't have the right to vex me. You don't have to wear it. I've gotten gifts from women that I didn't wear them because it's not my.
Someone's going to try to cancel us because of this conversation.
Man, I don't.
Which is okay. I mean,
exactly.
I mean, we have.
I haven't worn those, but in their presence, I was like, "Yo, thank you," because it was thoughtful. You got me this, and this pad, but. And I didn't wear some of them. Some of them I probably gave it, or whatever. Or I just threw them somewhere in the crib. However, am I going to shame you for getting me something? Like, just think about that. Like, that is such an entitled perspective to have in life. You ain't give me no chain. Nigga, did you work? Did you go clock in for her to...
That's what I'm saying.
Like, are you stupid?
His credit is not good enough to buy a rental property. And you upset at the lady, bro.
So go back to that.
That much, I promise you.
I will say that's definitely totally ungrateful.
Because if you have a taste for...
There's a bigger picture. And at least I'm seeing the bigger picture. Yeah. Again, this goes back to our conversation that we started the podcast with. He's looking for immediate satisfaction instead of the long-term satisfaction. Right. One month's rent of whatever rental property she got you can buy you. Or even put down a down deposit.
That's the name of the product, man. Immediate. Immediate whatever versus long-term gain.
Can I say to him? Can I call him? Can I call him out his name?
Are you going
This nigga is a dog-faced bitch. I'm grateful. You must treat your black queens better than this.
Facts. I agree with that, bro. I agree. I'm gonna go ahead, bro.
Come on, man.
He's so off base.
Like I was embarrassed for the queen.
She's a queen, man.
You know what I'm saying? I was embarrassed for her. Like she don't deserve that. Like really?
I'm telling you, any ladies out there in a situation like that, don't undersell yourself, bro. Because this guy. I'm trying to tell you, his credit is not good enough to even get that property.
Sure.
And the fact that I know that is, if you have a mindset of prioritizing a Rolex or a chain over a rental property, then that tells me how your scope, the way you look at life. Right?
Ladies, I got your back. All these busters, I'm gonna start calling them that name.
They don't listen to this pod though.
Charles Barkley, I called him out.
Yeah,
this brother.
The busters don't listen to this pod.
This brother. Listen to this pod. He's a buster. He's a dog-faced beat.
But like y'all said, I would definitely that'd be the end of the relationship right there. And then, like if I told my shorty, Like it's like matter of fact, this goes back to what Swiss Beats did for Alicia Keys.
Did he buy a Starbucks or something like?
Alicia Keys has her own teas in Starbucks. So every year, every decade, every generation going forward, Alicia Keys teas will be in Starbucks. So that means that Alicia's grandkids have money, her grandkids have money, everybody else after them has money because as long as Starbucks is open, Alicia Keys teas is going to be there.
Go there.
So that was his birthday gift to her, bro.
Money.
That's amazing, bro.
Financial literacy is amazing, and freedom is great. If you think past your chain, your Rolex, all of that, you can buy 50 of them before you die, and you can go to you can put it in your grave with it if you wanted to. Sometimes people have to think far. You can't think close. You have to think far. Think far.
Five.
Telling you, you don't want no. Y'all don't like to be a man in a relationship.
Let me give my shorty a rental property. She has the audacity to open her mouth.
And you keep throwing that word "shorty" out, bro.
But that's my thing. Like he's gonna be a man in this relationship, and he's gonna have a stake in your financial decisions. You know what I mean? He's gonna probably feel. I don't know the dynamic relationship. The relationship's different. But he's probably gonna feel like he's gonna set the pace for a lot of the decisions y'all make.
It will lead
and
her
if that's what you want, then you are making a mistake because this brother is useless.
Please, though, don't take it that we think that the Burberry, Chanel, the chain, the Rolex. If that's the life you want to live,
Hey, that's wonderful. I got a chain on right now.
You can have it.
Would I trade this for a rental property?
Yeah, right.
Hey, ladies, just when y'all ever want to call us misogynist, listen to this episode because we are giving it to this weak bastard of a guy.
He's
Yes, we are not misogynists. We call it how we see it. And this guy does not deserve any black woman. Let's send him to the Anglo-Saxon women.
Facts.
Yes.
He's useless, bro.
Yes.
He's a very useless man.
Anybody who agrees with his response,
look at his reaction.
Man or woman, y'all trash.
Look at his reaction. He doesn't even understand. Like his comprehension is not even grasping.
Yeah.
Like you can see he's confused.
Yeah.
I mean,
how are your mans more happier about you getting a rental property?
All his mans was happy.
Somebody just need to throw him in the pool.
That's
bro.
the sad part.
Trash.
Because I mean, at least he has friends that are not in the same mindset as him. Because it would have been sad, super sad, if his mans felt the same way.
She better leave him. Son.
She better have. Yeah. Plus, she looked good in the video.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Shorty.
Hey, hit her in the DMs, bro.
No, I'm good.
Wait, is her Twitter on there? Because I'm
She was on the Shade Room, bro.
Great question. I don't know.
for real?
Yeah, you know Shade Room. They little messy ass. They post everything.
Well, besides that, you know what I'm saying? Happy Independence again to Ghana. By the time this drops, it's going to be the day before, but 2 days before. But happy Independence to Ghana.
Shout out Great Ghana, man.
Man, this is yo.
The Africanist is not endorsing any Ghana Independence Party.
Just know that we giving y'all this real talk, man.
Are y'all partying this weekend?
Well, I'm
I mean, DJ Earthquake is DJing.
I'm
Oh man, you partying?
Oh, then I guess we are endorsing whatever he's DJing. We
I'm not promoting on here.
Because Moon Man, you know you
I'm what?
You a frequent.
I'm only promoting Sip and Paint Trey.
Come on, bro.
Table brother.
Sip and Paint Trey.
Coming soon.
Summertime, baby.
Summertime white boy.
Gang got the Hummer and the wrench, right?
Hey.
So, with that being said, guys, we out.
Minaj.
Anything else before we get out of here? No? Yes?
Brody.
Shout out Great Ghana, man.
Yeah.
I heard we got a Ghana mix that's probably going to be coming soon. So
Ghana playlist.
Ghana playlist, I'm sorry. That should be coming soon.
That should be coming very soon, right? Be on the lookout for it. Shout out to Nod.
Straight up.
But yeah, we out, man. We catch y'all next week, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this Real Talk conversation. Make sure you listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, iHeartMedia, SoundCloud, all podcast apps, man. We everywhere. So just take a listen and please rate and subscribe us, man. It'll do wonders for us. With that being said, we are out. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Africanistpod. Email us at africanistpodcast@gmail.com. Website is still coming soon. We are still cooking up. We're working with some developers to make us look good, right? So we are out. We will catch you guys next week. It would either be King Midi in LA or we might have a guest. Who knows?
All right.
But we're cooking up. See you guys next week.
Peace.